All right, guys, man, that was a pretty scary title there, wasn't it? Well, it's something that could very well happen based on what YouTube's implementing in December of 2019 and January of 2020. For those of you that don't know, earlier this year, I believe around September time, YouTube was given a fine by the FTC in the United States to the tune of a little more than $180 million USD. So that sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, but in reality, that's 2 days' profit for YouTube. So it didn't even amount to a slap of the wrist on them. And what they got in trouble for was collecting data on children, kids less than 13 years of age, and they were targeting them with ads. And this was in violation of something called COPA or COPPA, Children Online Privacy Protection Act. From the late 90s, where anybody under 13 couldn't have their data collected, similar to what Google and YouTube and a bunch of other companies, Facebook, do basically every day. Well, they got caught red-handed, openly advertising to people that they could target those individuals with ads, and were levied a fine, like I said, in excess of $180 million. So what they're doing as a result of this is a little scary for basically everybody, but especially the Mr. Clicksflix channel, as well as all the heroclix content creators, because what they did, rather than a thing to do with COPA, and is that the parents have to express consent that their children's data is collected, and the FTC determined that I guess they didn't do a good enough job of that, because generally what happens is parents get lazy, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm not pointing any fingers, where you log into your thing, you hand it to your kid, they look on it, and it's very obvious that a child's viewing on it, but then they get targeted with the ads anyway. Even though technically, if they're under 13, you shouldn't be doing that. So, what YouTube decided to do was, rather than just put it in big, bold writing up front with the new user agreement that you agree in order to maintain your account to have this data collected, they went a totally different route that's really not good for anybody. So what they did is they started on the back end. I can put in basically things that make it so that you can find my videos. They're called tags. So like heroclix would be a tag so that you can find heroclix videos. Well, in that area of doing a video, now I have to answer a question that says, is this video intended for children, or is this video not intended for children? Okay, so I have to answer that for any video I upload now, as well as all the videos I've done on the channel. And I'm responsible for all of those under COPA. And I know there's a few YouTube channels in different countries. Since YouTube is based in the U.S., you will be responsible for that. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just giving you the report, so don't take my word for it. Do what YouTube said. YouTube's thing for this was get a lawyer, which is hilarious. So anyway, so I have to say if it's for kids or not for kids. And if I say it's not for kids and they start targeting ads and realize it's for kids, I'm responsible for each video up to $42,000 and some change per video. I have over 400 videos. So it doesn't take very long for that to get, crying out loud, one of those I couldn't pay, let alone 400 of them. And that's the maximum allowed. That's, they might not charge that, but anybody that remembers the early 90s, mid to late 90s, when downloading music off places like Napster and things like that was a thing, The first few people that only downloaded 1 or 2 songs really had an example made out of them. And they're already gearing up to do that sort of thing here on YouTube. So, you're like, oh, well, we want to protect the kids, which is true. I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. So, you want to do what's best for them. But at the same time, it's really affecting people because regardless of whether my demographics, if I were to show you my end, it says that I don't have anybody in that age bracket. But there's also nowhere listed for people less than that age bracket. So I can't even fully know if I'm compliant or not because it doesn't list anybody less than 14. So what COPA says is basically, the guidelines were given from YouTube and COPA and, all these places. So if it is something with kids in it, something that appeals to kids, anything with animation, anything with slow talking and small words, could be for kids. So right there, you figure, and it's not, they're not taking into context everything. So and this is part of the problem, is that everything is so vague. So according to this, Family Guy, Futurama, Bob's Burgers, hentai, as crazy as it sounds, since that's all animated, it could potentially be targeting kids specifically, even though that is all definitely not targeted towards children. Since it has animation in it, the U.S. government could just come in and say, well, this is targeting kids. You owe us $42,000 per video that this occurred in. So you have your high-end action figure people are really getting affected by this. I don't know too many 6-year-olds that are playing with a $200 Hot Toys collectible action figure, but they're going to get hit with it. Anybody that does Legos, cartoon reviews, heroclix, I feel is something that's definitely going to fall under this because kids, they like Captain America, they like Iron Man, they like Spider-Man, they like Hulk. So it's appealing. It doesn't have to be, and that's the thing, it doesn't have to target the kids. It just has to be appealing to the kids, is what they're saying. So this has me worried for the channel because I don't have the money to fight the U.S. government, and I'm not even going to try to do that. So what I'm left with is there are a few videos that my son showed up in that I automatically opted into. I was like, okay, my kid is in this video, so it's directed towards kids, But I thought about doing it for the whole channel, but when you do that, comments are disabled, shares disabled, I lose the community tab, you have no ability to save for later or add to a playlist. What else is there? Notifications are disabled. So and I don't show up in recommended or anything like that. Like, you have to search specifically for my video. You have to be a subscriber. Click on the little icon that brings up my stuff so that you can see everything I downloaded. You will not be notified whatsoever. So I'm basically, if I opt into that, I'm throwing everything into a black hole, never to be heard from again. As far as people finding things, because the main way people find you on YouTube, like, search is important, but the main way people find you is suggested for things like that. The little bar that'll show up if you're on your phone underneath that says, these are some other videos that you might like. That's the main way people find stuff on YouTube, and that won't happen if you opt into this I have kids content stuff. Then I was like, well, what if I just demonetize? And this is still something that I'm considering. I have to look it up. I have a little bit of time left. Where if I demonetize, are they still collecting the data? If they aren't collecting the data, I'll just demonetize. You guys, I'm sure you have been helping, and I'm sure you'll rally on the Patreon. And various other ways. I've got Amazon affiliate. I've got a spring a t-shirt store that you can do online stuff with. You guys are a great community. I'm not worried about that. I don't really make anything off YouTube anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. At first I was like, okay, no big deal, I'll just demonetize. But if they're still collecting that data, that means I'm left in the no man's land of you're not going to get notifications, you're not going to be able to comment. And to me, not commenting is a big deal because this is a pretty complicated game. So if you ask a question, you lack the ability to ask the question, is what it is. So I can't answer all the questions that you may or may not have. I just have to, at that point, do my best guess, hope that you're checking in because you're not going to get notified, and stuff like that. So what we're going to have to do here, and I'm not doing this lightly, a couple months ago, I started uploading on a website called BitChute, and it's a pretty cool website where it does some things that's not YouTube. Like there's not a centralized location for the servers and stuff like that. So I started uploading a while ago. I'm gonna start uploading there. Every video you see on here will be on there. So if and they do have comments over there, they have a subscribe button and stuff like that. It's really cool over there actually. I like it a lot. So the link for BitChute will be in the comments below, the pinned comment. So please go over there, subscribe to the channel over there, and that's just kind of a backup if I end up having to do the FTC thing, because they don't do ads over there, so they're not collecting any data on anybody over there. That's one of the things about that website that people like. So there is that. Also, please make sure to follow me on Twitter, be in the Facebook group. All these links are in the description, and I'll also have them in the pinned comment, because every time I post a video, I will post in those places that I posted a video so that you can check it out. Man. But yeah, it's pretty scary time right now, guys. I try to not complain, and I try to be positive about that, but there's no real silver lining here, according to me. The only thing is hopefully they realize, because also what they're doing right now is they're doing computer learning, and so the computer's going to go in, it's going to flag stuff, and then you can manually say no, it's not intended for kids. But that stuff almost never works right. Even when it does work, it doesn't work right. So I'm pretty sure YouTube's going to be messing around with stuff like that. And then, like I said, even if my stuff's really not for kids, which it isn't, the game is meant for 14 and up. As far as my demographics are concerned, it looks like pretty much everybody's 18 to 34 or something like that, or 44, I think, is the highest on my demographic. So I'm not targeting those people, but the FTC, you don't have to be doing it on purpose. They just have to glance at it, and they said they're going to be doing sweeps, and if it doesn't pass the glance test, they're going to nab you. So if they don't collect data for demonetized channels, I'll just demonetize the channel, no problem. I'm sure you guys in the community, you're already taking care of me, and I'm sure that a couple more people will help out too for that. So make sure to check out patreon.com/MrClicksFlix for that stuff. That stuff's really going to help now more so than ever. And if it looks like I have to just declare the whole channel as designated towards kids, that's fine. I will still continue to upload to YouTube with the designation of kids, because as we discussed, I don't have the money to pay a $42,000 fine on 400 videos. However, if you want the ability to comment and interact with me and stuff like that, you're going to need to follow me on those other social medias, as well as BitChute if you want to comment on the specific videos. I don't know why, like a few months ago, I was like, I should really, maybe start something else just as a backup. So I started BitChute, and then this happen like a few months later. So, divine providence or whatever you want to call it. But there is also another problem where if I demonetize the channel, like let's say that that's the fix, demonetizing the channel, in the new YouTube terms of service, if something isn't if a channel isn't commercially viable, they reserve the right to delete your channel, your Google account, all that stuff. So you're going to run into a thing where if, and this boils down to money, because it costs money to have the servers open. They don't want to pay to have server space on somebody that's not making them money. So they're going to they're going to get rid of anybody that's not making them money. They've come out and said that that's not what they're going to do, but I think if history has shown us anything, that's 100% what's going to happen. So if they do that, if you're already subscribed to me on BitChute, you're not going to miss anything, and we'll just, it'll be no problem. We'll just be somewhere else. It's not a big deal. Not going to stay somewhere that we're not welcome. But yeah, so you guys let me know in the comments below how you feel about this. I'm real sorry to be a downer today. I like to keep all my videos upbeat and stuff like that. And I know I'm kind of laughing, but it's just, it's funny how, two individuals are quote unquote trying to make it better, and they just went and made it so much worse that they're flat out threatening to ruin people's lives, and they act like it's a joke, even if it's obviously not meant to. Like, to me, if you watch my videos, I purposefully try not to swear. I assume at some point something has slipped out, but I purposely try not to, because I've had people tell me, they put their stuff on in the stuff on in the office. They'll watch it with their kids as something that's entertaining. So I try to be respectful of that. But even under this, it's not just the audio or the video. It can be, or it's not both of them together. It's one. So if I start off with a tapestry of obscenities, and then I start saying that this isn't for under 14 or anything like that, the minute I show this Captain America heroclix that, a kid might like, that's it. It's game over. I'm in violation if I didn't declare that this is for kids. So obviously, this channel is not for kids, but I'm being potentially punished for being family friendly, as are all the YouTube heroclix creators. If you see this video, please make sure to tell them about it, because I would hate to hear that something happened to a member of the community over something silly like this. So hopefully we can figure something out. Like I said, I will have the alternate channel over on bitchute.com. I believe Married with Clicks has something on DTube. I would like to get together with everybody, all the other YouTube creators for heroclix, and see if there's maybe one website that we can all agree on, so that, if something happens with YouTube and you can't find our stuff, you're not getting notified. We're demonetized essentially, so they're starting to kick us off. You can just go to BitChute and you'll have Happy Little heroclix and Mr. Clicksflix and Married with Clicks and all the other Snaggletooth Gaming, or DTube, or wherever it ends up being. Hopefully we can figure that out, so that you don't have to go to 4, 5, 6 different websites to just see some heroclix videos. So you guys, if you know about this, please put a comment. Hit F for respect for that YouTube presence. Again, I'm going to keep it marked as not kid-friendly, even though it's family-friendly, for as long as I can. The couple videos that my son did show up in, I opted into those because, if you have a child model or a child in your video, it may be deemed kid-friendly. So I was like, well, I'm not even, I've got a toy, according to them. I've got a kid, according to them. So, that's two out of 3 strikes. I'm not looking for that third one to be out. So, anyway, thank you guys for listening to me. There will be regular heroclix videos this week. Don't worry. Again, check out bitchute.com. The link will be in the pinned comment for the Mr. Clicksflix webpage for that. And keep a lookout. I'm giving away $100 thanks to trollandtoad.com this month. so that'll run for a while. There'll be an official video. Don't pay too much attention to it in this. And then I'm just glancing over at some notes, seeing if there's anything else. I have a heroclix top 3 come out. There may have been a spoiler in this video about who's in that top 3. Maybe not this specific figure, but maybe that character. Could be that figure. I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys and girls, even though my demographics show that no girls watch, but I assume one does somewhere. So thank you everybody for watching the videos. Please share this out. Please make sure to alert your favorite content creator that this is something, even if they know it on their own. Like I said, I'd hate for somebody to get messed up in this. So thank you. That's all I have for you today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.